So I'm going to start off and we're going to talk about the Oscars and everybody who won and my predictions. I went 17 for 20. I'm not saying 23 because I just didn't make predictions on any of the short categories because I haven't seen any of them. But yeah, so 17 for 20. All right. I know a few people who went like 22 for 23, which is crazy. So yeah, we'll get into that in a second. But I think first I have to talk about this.
I'm out here.
Uh-oh, Richard. All right. At this moment, I didn't know what was happening. I really did think it was a bit. Maybe he was going to go up, give him like a hug or something, a jokingly hug, being like, don't you make fun of me and my family. But no, something unexpected happened. Oh, you even heard it. You heard the slap. Let's analyze his form here. So he walks up. Let me give it a nice zoom in here. Chris Rock is like asking for it. He looks like he's leaning forward, asking to be slapped. Hands behind his back, leaning forward, frame by frame. Still no arm movement from Will Smith. Still just walking with his head down a little, kind of like a dramatic walk. He's learned from being a movie star how to walk dramatically towards somebody. Where's the hand? Oh, there. The hand finally goes up. No back. No reach back. So it wasn't, the longest slap, but he has his feet planted. He didn't involve the hips too much. You could see like the momentum of his arm going this way really took his left foot off the ground a bit. Shifted it a little, you see? All right. The question is, initially, was this staged? Was this fake? And it was crazy because they cut off the sound. Where I was watching it, we didn't know what was happening until they cut to Will Smith all teary-eyed. But that definitely connected. Definitely connected. Those are the magical frames. When I saw this, it was so funny. It still is so funny. Yeah, he did just assault somebody, but he's famous enough that there's going to be no repercussions whatsoever. And as a viewer, Chris Rock did say, this is the greatest night in TV history. It's not the greatest night in TV history, but it was damn entertaining to watch famous people make a fool of themselves. And Will Smith sure made a fool of himself. And look at his face here. He looks like all smug. He looks like he's about to crack a smile. I feel like he's just so out of touch that slapping people is just a joke to him. And then, people probably talk to him on the break and be like, yo, dude, that's, actual assault. And he's like, oh, I guess I should apologize for that. Tells the joke, he's laughing. That's the best part. He's laughing at the joke. She's like, okay, shut up. That was a bad joke, which it wasn't the best joke. What everyone wants to know. What happened in let me count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He says, uh-oh, Richard. 7 seconds, Will Smith had a complete change of heart from this face. Did she just look at him, give him this look, okay, honey, it's game time. Your image is on top of Jada's head right now. Oh, hey, yeah, you're right. Wait.
G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
He's laughing.
Time in my life, overwhelmed by what God is calling on me to do.
He pulled the God card.
In this world, I want to say,
he's a vessel of love.
Venus. I want to be an ambassador of that kind of love and care and concern.
He wants to be an ambassador of love, care, and concern. You know what's more? Nothing is more loving than a nice palm on the face.
Art imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like they said.
Cause he is.
I
Cause
look like
he
crazy
is.
father, just like they said about Richard Williams. But love will make you do crazy things.
All is forgiven. It's like the alternate timeline is him getting kicked out of the Oscars. That would have just been phenomenal. I hope there's consequence, because there should be. Yeah, the Academy's tweet, what was it? It was like, we don't condone violence. We don't condone violence of any kind. It very much seemed like you did, and you let the world know that slapping people because they make an edgy joke is okay. Oh yeah, okay, I won't dwell on that. But man, as a viewer, it was hilarious. Okay, on to the actual Oscars. Now we can actually talk about what happened. Oh wait, Will Smith won for Best Actor. Actor in a leading role. And I did predict this. I thought Will Smith was going to win because I did think he did a great job. It was a very... How do I say it? He was a very eccentric character, and me and my friends agree that the post-credits scene in King Richard, I guess kind of during the credits when they show the actual footage that Richard Williams took, you can see the comparisons to Will Smith's performance and just like how accurate it was. And he's just such a crazy guy, Richard Williams, that like, man, he really, really brought it to life. And I mean, he did do a great job. He did a great job. That's who I predicted, but I wanted Andrew Garfield to win. I think a lot of people wanted Andrew Garfield to win. It was a crowd-pleasing performance from Andrew Garfield. Everybody else, I did not see being the Ricardos, and I don't really want to. Benedict Cumberbatch, yeah, he was good, and Denzel was, I mean, great Shakespeare performance, but yeah, I thought Will Smith and Andrew Garfield were my top two, and hey, Will Smith took it home. Deservedly so, but you can just, in your head, be like, oh, the alternate timelines of that night. What if they, like, escorted him out of the building? Who's going to accept this award? What's going to happen? Is he going to be at the next Oscars? Are they going to invite him back? How many? I'm just looking forward to all the jokes that are going to be made in the future on this. It's going to be great. I want to go to Chris Rock's comedy tour now. Okay. Moving on, we have actor in a supporting role. Again, I did predict Troy Kotsur. Overall, the entire awards were fairly predictable, I think, up until the very end. I think on this Oscars website, it's in alphabetical order. So yeah, Troy Kotsur did win, and I predicted him as well, and he was great. He was phenomenal. And I mean, most people in Coda, they were all great for all of their roles, and his speech was amazing, and he seems like a great guy. And I think people thought Cody Smith-McPhee might take it, but man, I think deservedly so, Troy Kotsur won it. I was rooting for him as well, even though I think Coda may not be my top movie of the year. Actress in a leading role, Jessica Chastain. I had on the day before the Oscars, I switched my guess from Kristen Stewart to Jessica Chastain because I heard all the hype, but have not seen Eyes of Tammy Faye. Don't really want to. Maybe I'll watch it for another Andrew Garfield performance. But hey, apparently she was great. A very transformative. People love the transformative roles. But yeah, I thought Kristen Stewart was incredible in that movie. I really just... the look of Spencer was so good. It was so glossy. And it was wonderful. But hey, Jessica Chastain won. I can't say too much about it. Did not know the movie, but hey, good for her. Apparently she gave a good speech. I had walked out for a second when she gave her speech, but I heard it was a good one. Maybe I should look it up after. Actress in a supporting role, also I did guess Ariana DeBose, as did 100% of anybody who is making Oscar predictions. Because, yeah, she was great in West Side Story. Again, West Side Story, not my favorite film. But, yeah, she killed it. She was my favorite actress in the film. And yeah, she so much passion behind her performance. And yeah, the scene that they showed of her yelling at all of them when they were in the old woman's bar, man, I don't know any of the names from West Side Story, but yeah, that was a great scene there. And only other one, like, Kirsten Dunst was great. She plays the distressed alcoholic quite well. I guess Melancholia, you had a lot of distressed moments in that movie as well, prepared her for this. But yeah, she was great. As well as Ingenue Ellis. She was great as well. But she had one scene, which they showed right before her nomination, which is like, yeah, that's her one scene to shine. That's the reason why she's there. But yeah, Ariana DeBose. Animated feature film, Encanto. As they said during multiple times during the broadcast, everybody's kids are going to go watch Encanto again now for the 10th time. And I work at a movie theater, and we're still playing Encanto because people just keep coming to see it. And every time I talk about it with the parents, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's a great film. And they're like, oh, I know it's really good, but this is going to be my millionth time watching. I'm like, okay, yeah, true. We just want to come watch on a big screen. All right, cool. But yeah, nothing else was going to win but Encanto. So, cinematography, I was rooting for Dune, and Dune won. And I also chose Dune, and I think it should be Dune. And Dune won all of the technical awards. Did I mention Dune was nominated for everything? And it won most of them. But yeah, what more can be said? The amazing landscape shots of the otherworldly areas. The sand. It was just beautifully shot. And yeah. I knew I was going to love the movie from the trailer shot where they're in the helicopter thing. And then the worm is eating the spice compactor harvester thing. Yeah, it was amazing. Other than that, I think my second favorite is honestly Tragedy of Macbeth. When I initially saw the movie, like, the visuals make the movie what it is. If it was just like more realistic, down to earth interpretation of Macbeth, it would have been quite forgettable aside from the performances. But it really elevated the film that it had the black and white motif. It was super contrasty and just like focused on shapes with the shadows the whole time. Even if the production design wasn't super like realistic, it made it feel like a stage. And it was great. I loved it. So that was my second one. But hey, Dune won. Costumes. Apparently Cruella is a movie about costumes and fashion. And I have not seen it. And I don't want to see it, really. But hey, it was great. And the lady who gave the speech, Jenny, Bevan, one of those. Yeah, she gave a great speech. She said that the highlight of her experience with that movie was having Emma Thompson like break out or cry because she loved the costumes or something. Yeah, she was really cool. And she got, I remember it said like her third win and 11th nomination. I was like, well, that's crazy. She's the costume queen. That's crazy. That's awesome. So yeah, it was gonna win. We all knew it. As much as I love Dune, like the still suits are cool and everything, but yeah, it made sense that Cruella won there. Okay, directing. Again, wasn't gonna be anybody else than Jane Campion. Yeah, longtime director. And this one was so much performance-based, and the subtleties of the performances needed to be there. And it's such a slow movie. And I think a lot of these slow movies, because the director needs to ooze these performances for everything that they're worth and get everything they can from them, that, yeah, she did an incredible job. I do love Power of the Dog. And I think that critically, A lot of people love Power of the Dog, but I know many people who were like, yeah, it was so slow, and it was just like, I didn't care that much, and it was boring. And I understand that, and maybe that's what I've heard from people I know, and hey, maybe some people from the Academy thought that as well, because it did not win Best Picture. But hey, yeah, directing, amazing. Ugh, I still need to see Drive My Car. That's the one I can't critique on. But out of the 4 that I have seen, yes, Jane Campion. But I've heard Drive My Car, direction is incredible as well. Documentary feature. I have not seen any of them, but I was more informed on this one than the shorts. And yeah, Summer of Soul. Questlove seemed very, very passionate about it. And I think I will check it out sometime. And I'm not going to say too much on that. I think it was predicted to win. And hey, it did. Documentary short subject. I did not watch any of them. Film editing. Film editing is like a weird one. Sometimes it's kind of hard to predict. Because like there's so many different reasons to pick editing. And editing really does shape how the film turns out. I was honestly rooting for Tick Tick Boom. But it also could do with the writing of Tick Tick Boom. Because I think the thing with Tick Tick Boom is that it made a musical way more accessible. Because I've heard so many people be like, they don't want to go see whatever musical because, oh, it's just people randomly breaking out into song and dance. Why are they doing that? It's so annoying. But this one, it's like the half, probably more than half of the movie being actually in his story, and then you have all the cutaways to the songs when he's actually performing Tick Tick Boom as a musical performance was just a genius way to do it. And like it was highlighted in the what's that one scene? The therapy song where they cut between the actual what's actually happening when they're arguing and then the therapy song with him and Vanessa Hudgens. I thought the editing was great. Definitely deserving of the nomination. I thought it should win. But hey, Dune won. Deservedly so as well, because it was a lot more meditative editing and it was more symbolic. You had just the imagery and just tying that all together, choosing the right moments to linger on every shot, which it was a very long movie. And I think the lingering meditativeness of the movie just made it so much more enthralling, in my opinion. And yeah, Don't Look Up. King Richard just did what Don't Look Up, but like better, because they're both like more fast paced. King Richard more so because, I mean, it's a sports movie. You have montages in there and it's like, it gets you amped up for it. Don't Look Up kind of like had a similar vibe, but like just not to the extent. It just wasn't anything astounding. I don't know why. Yeah, don't know why it was nominated. But and Power of the Dog a little similar to Dune. It's like the more slow meditative. And similar to why Jane Campion won directing is why this was nominated here. International feature film. I unfortunately have not seen any of them. I wanted to watch Drive My Car so bad. For the last month, I've been looking. The only place I could watch it was renting it for like $8 on iTunes. $8 rental, that's crazy. I wanted to go see it, but nowhere near me was playing it. Nowhere within like an hour drive. Same thing for Worst Person in the World. Those are two I will definitely find some way to watch this year. I am beyond excited for Drive My Car. And I mean, of course it was going to win. It was nominated for Best Picture, so. Makeup and hairstyling. I did get this one wrong because I just put Cruella again. Because I was like, oh, it's a fashion movie. And the lady who did the speech for the costumes shouted out the makeup and hairstyling, stating they complete the look. So, which they sure do. And yeah, I guess of Tammy Faye, it's a transformative performance specifically for Jessica Chastain. I wasn't there when they awarded this award. I walked out again of the room for that one, but hey, cool. Glad it won. I think it was between that or Cruella. Let's be honest, because like House of Gucci, it's like you have Jared Leto's whatever's going on there, and then the hair, maybe like Lady Gaga's hair. It was like, yeah, it was typical like rich people makeup hairstyling with like prosthetics mixed in there. But Coming to America, dude, I have no clue anything about that. Why is Coming to America there? Hey, I don't know. Maybe it was good. Okay, music, original score, of course, Hans Zimmer's gonna win. I don't really remember the Don't Look Up soundtrack being that banging. Encanto, of course, which very much could have won as well. Parallel Mothers, I do not know. And I do like the Power of the Dog, Johnny Greenwood score. That was great as well. A lot creepier and a different vibe. But Dune was just, it was so epic. Man, I'll gush about Dune every day and I'll sound like a cheesy film nerd. But, man, of course it was going to win. Of course. And he wasn't there to accept it. But, hey, he's a busy man. Original song, No Time to Die. Yeah, I predicted that as well. The performance, Beyonce's performance, was great. It was very long. The visuals were amazing. The tennis court vibe, awesome. But yeah, No Time to Die is the best there. It's my personal favorite out of them. I think everybody knows We Don't Talk About Bruno was a better song. Maybe not better, but like more iconic. When they said Dos Oruguitas, I was like, when I heard it was nominated, I was like, what song is that from Encanto? I remember Surface Pressure and We Don't Talk About Bruno a lot more than that one, but Down to Joy, I don't even know what song that is. I have no clue. Did they perform it? I don't think I was in the room when they performed it, but this Somehow You Do, that was a great performance too. That was a great performance. I actually do like that song. But 4 Good Days, what is that? Nobody knows. But yeah, I predict No Time to Die. Of course it won. Okay, this is not in the order they were revealed. This is alphabetical. So right here is Best Picture. And as you can see, Coda won Best Picture at the Oscars in 2022. And I wholeheartedly disagree. But at the end of the day, it's the Oscars. I really don't care that much. Coda is a very feel-good movie. It really hits hard at the end. Like, there's like 3 consecutive scenes. They're kind of the same scene like 3 times. But hey, they hit hard. They're tear-jerkers. It's just a nice feel-good movie. But I think that's all it is, really. I think that the performances were great. I think that at times it felt like a Disney Channel movie. Like a, I don't know, just like feel-good, Hallmark-esque. And then you have the music teacher who's just straight out of Glee. Like, he was fun and all, but he just felt so comically out of place in the world that we were in. Because, yeah, the family can be fun in their own right, and yeah, they have sex too loud, whatever. But he was just, like, on another level. He was, like, a comic book character. And, like, the things that he's teaching her in the music class were just very, very formulaic. And, but that is to say, I'm very happy for them. Very happy for them to win Best Picture. The team behind it seemed like they very much had a great time and have a lot of appreciation for the film. And, hey, I would still recommend everybody watch the film. It is a wonderful film. But I think just some of the other movies this year were a lot more... I don't know. They hit harder. They were more subtle. Made me think more. Because this one is like you turn it off. You're like, okay, yeah, that's what I got from the movie. That's it. It's over with. But it wasn't one that stuck with me, I'll say. But, happy for the team. I'm never going to be like, oh, it sucks that this won. Because, like, it's a bunch of people who put so much into making the movie. It's like, yeah, good for them. Cool. They got recognition for it. I chose The Power of the Dog because I do love me my slow meditative westerns personally. And modern westerns are a genre that I love. I dig it. And I always say to people that Power of the Dog is like the type of movie that they would show you in like an English class. And be like, let's analyze everybody's motivations and the subtext behind everything. You got to read in between the lines. This is an example of such great storytelling. And yeah, I think it is as well. I do love Power of the Dog. It was my second favorite movie of the year, behind, you guessed it, Dune. Yeah, I was rooting for Power of the Dog and Dune, and other than that, I loved Nightmare Alley. Had no expectations that it was going to win, but Nightmare Alley is just the kind of movie I want to see more of. Fun, unique thrillers that are more complex than just a straightaway thriller. It was, yeah, that was probably my third favorite out of all of them. I do like Belfast. I know a lot of people knock Belfast for saying it's quite, like, formulaic and things like that. I did enjoy Belfast. It just did it right. It wasn't as formulaic as Coda, in my opinion. And it did it just right, and you can clearly see Kenneth Branagh's history with this subject matter. Don't Look Up was fun to watch, but that's about it. Drive My Car, still want to see it. King Richard is like, it's good. It's fine. It's a sports movie. I won't remember it for too long, but Licorice Pizza, didn't care for too much. Most decisive, probably, out of most of them. And West Side Story, I didn't like that much. It's, like, fine. I just don't think the story holds up. Okay, moving on from Best Picture. Production design, Dune won, of course. I predicted it as well. The only other competitor, just like cinematography, I would say is Tragedy and Macbeth, because that was those two, Dune and Tragedy and Macbeth, combined the cinematography and production design the most innovative out of all of the movies here. And yeah, technically I do love Tragedy and Macbeth. I don't care too much for Shakespeare, but I just want to give props to it because it looked like unlike anything I'd ever seen before, and it just visually it stuck with me. And Nightmare Alley is nice. It's a little like grim, gritty, but still glossy at the same time because it's supposed to be a little fantastical. Power of the Dog, loved me the landscapes. West Side Story, it was nice. It was very, how do I put this, theatrical in the cinematic scope. But yeah. Dune. Short film, animated live action. Sadly, I've not seen them, but Riz Ahmed did win. We will talk about Riz Ahmed later on this live stream for the Sound of Metal. And here we are, Sound, which last year was won by The Sound of Metal, and this year won by Dune, of course. Yeah, Dune won this. Of course it did. It was combined with the score, just so grand. And yeah, it was amazing. There was no doubt in my mind that it was going to win. Only other thing that maybe West Side Story, because it's combining the musical elements, but yeah. Had no doubts there, really. I don't know why Belfast is there, really. Visual effects. You got Oscar-nominated movie Free Guy. Oscar-nominated Marvel movies, Shang-Chi and Spider-Man. Oscar-nominated No Time to Die. But of course, Dune is going to win. It's the one that's up for Best Picture. And the visual effects didn't stand out. They meshed seamlessly. Even in the long wide shots, they're just so ingrained in the space. And yeah, no doubter there again. Writing adapted screenplay. Like I said before, I thought Coda was good, but formulaic. And that stems from the writing. And I think this is... I would not have chosen it for writing to get nominated, even. Like, that was like... If it was an even better script with those actors, it would have been even more incredible. And the writing was one of my biggest gripes with it. And it won adapted screenplay. But hey, good for Sean Heder. I thought Power of the Dog was going to win that, personally. I was rooting for Power of the Dog. Dune. Of course, there was always a deep hope in my mind that Dune was going to win. Can't comment on the other two, but yeah. That was one I was like shaking my head at. I predicted Power of the Dog, got that one wrong. Writing original screenplay, last one on this page here. Belfast. I did predict Belfast because it was such a front runner like 6 months ago, such a crowd pleaser. People loved it at TIFF. And I mean, out of all the ones here, people say Worst Person in the World is incredible. But out of all the ones here, it's like, yeah, Don't Look Up is fine. Feels like it's improv most of the movie. King Richard is a biopic. Licorice Pizza, I didn't care for too much. I was deep down, I was like thinking that might win. Licorice Pizza, but I think rightfully so it didn't win. And The Worst Person in the World, which I can't wait to see as well. But yeah, I think I'm fine with this Belfast one because it is a good movie. I think people give it too much criticism, and I'm glad it won. Glad it won something. So yeah, that was the Oscars. I think the last thing that I want to say on the Oscars was I absolutely loved the fan polls. Going in, I did not know that. Apparently, before it, I mean, of course, they polled the fans through Twitter, I believe, and I just didn't know that was happening. So I thought these little segments were literally just them being like, oh, we chose the most crowd-pleasing moments of all time and the best movies of last year, or the fan favorite movie of last year. And I burst out laughing when Justice League won the most crowd-pleasing moment of all time. And it was just like, people always say, oh, the Oscars is these people critiquing these movies and making a consensus best picture when the fans would have chosen Spider-Man or something different. And it's just, along with the Will Smith thing, I don't take the Oscars very seriously, and it's just so funny to look back and see that the Twitter world intervened with this. And all those people in the audience are watching this on the giant screen in the Dolby Theater, watching the Barry going back in time being the number one most crowd-pleasing moment of all time. Ezra Miller, the worst part of Justice League. I do not care about the Flash movie that's coming up. But yeah, that was hilarious. What was it? It was The Matrix. It seemed like 5 was always like a serious one. The Matrix. You had Avengers Assemble, the Spider-Man thing. Then what? I forget the last one I'm thinking of. I don't even remember. Okay, moving on. And then they had the fan voted best movie of last year, the fan favorite. And it started with Spider-Man? Did it start with Spider-Man? I think Spider-Man was one of the first few. Oh, Tick, Tick, Boom, which, yes, Andrew Garfield is a draw, and it was incredible. Spider-Man, I was like, that is definitely should be number one. At this point, me still thinking that it's them making the list. Then it's this random Johnny Depp movie that I don't even remember the name of. I've looked it up 3 times within the last day, and I still don't remember what it was. What is this movie? So the Johnny Depp movie was called Minamata. The number 3 fan favorite movie of last year. A war photographer travels back to Japan where he documents the devastating effect of mercury poisoning in coastal communities. Jeez. Yeah, apparently this is a fan favorite movie that nobody's heard of. I see on the IMDb it has the arrow. It's trending up in popularity because of this. Good for Minamata. And then the Cinderella movie from last year that came out on Amazon Prime that I watched one time with some lads. We double featured Cinderella and what was it? Was it Tall Girl 2? Tall Girl 2? It was 2 very, very memey movies, and that is so funny that they made that the second one. But Twitter loves Zack Snyder apparently and made not Justice League. Army of the Dead, the fan favorite movie of last year. And that clip went on for so long. They played that zombie clip for so long, and I'm just thinking like, these people are watching this clip, these famous people are watching this clip of Army of the Dead right now. And that is just hilarious to me. So, yeah, there we have it. That was the Oscars. It was an interesting show. I think that again, they took out some categories, and then they had like they were like announcing nominees, and then the award receiver was already on stage receiving the award, which was like fine. It saves a bit of time, but then like they added in nonsense sections of like James Bond tribute and like Godfather. Like, did we need that James Bond tribute to be that long? Then like the segments with like what's her name? Regina Hall bringing up dudes from the audience because they need to get their COVID test was like, and then Amy Schumer being Spider-Man from the rafters. Like, at first I was fine with them. Like, their opening stuff was fine, but then it just dragged on. If they kept them limited, I think they could have been really fun. In the end, the Oscars 2022 slapped.